WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. An Amber Alert out of Jackson County has been canceled. You may have seen it during the President's State of the Union address. The good news, the Amber Alert is canceled. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation issued the Amber Alert for 2-year-old Genesis McCord of Pascagoula late this evening. Investigators say she was with her father, who turned himself into police in Mobile. The child has since been found and is safe. Kratom, it's a drug that could previously be bought in convenience stores throughout Columbus. During tonight's City Council meeting, the board voted to order store owners to pull the substance from all store shelves. City leaders unanimously voted to ban the sale, use, and distribution of Kratom in city limits. Now, the drug isn't illegal. However, some say the drug is highly addictive. Until tonight, Kratom could be bought at stores in pill, capsule, and extract form. The ban goes into effect immediately.
Even though it approved it for to take effect immediately, each business that sells this type of drug, Kratom, will be notified, and they will be given something in writing to that effect.
This is so good for the citizens of Columbus. This is a dangerous drug. It's deceptive, it's addictive, and it destroys lives, and it destroys families.
And with the ban in place, if someone is caught using, selling, or distributing Kratom, they could be fined $1,000 and possibly face time behind bars. Also at tonight's council meeting, the city swears in 4 new police officers and approved the hiring of 2 more. This puts the department at just almost full staff with 69 police officers. The department can have up to 70. That last spot, though, they're trying to fill is for the assistant police chief.
It took us a while to get here. At one point, we were 40 officers down, but now that we're back up to where we need to be, I feel good about it. The community feel good about it, and we're going to provide the city of Columbus with efficient, effective, and proactive policing.
Chief Shelton says he plans to be fully staffed by the end of the summer. Starkville leaders continue moves toward expanding that city's borders. In a 5-2 motion, the Board of Aldermen decided to move forward with pursuing the proposed annexation areas. City Attorney Chris Latimer and Slaughter and Associates will draft an annexation ordinance. The Board of Aldermen also decided in a 6-1 vote to increase monthly residential sanitation rates by $1.50. Commercial rates with increase by $5. Now, these rates will be named as a landfill fee and will be in effect until the city's landfill closes. All fees will be applied to the city's maintenance. A longtime businessman makes a big donation to the town his company has called home for more than 4 decades. Walter Fleshacker opened Northeast Metal Processors in 1974 in Plantersville. Now, his company has remained in the town ever since, through good times and rough times. Now, Fleshacker is retiring and closing his business, but he wanted to donate the land and buildings from his company to the town. The mayor, Board of Aldermen, along with friends, family, and employees of Mr. Fleshacker, turned out tonight to honor the businessman. Mayor Shelton Shannon says that there are many options for the property.
Well, we're in the planning stage. The Board of Aldermen and I have not decided exactly what it's going to be used for, but it will be used by the town.
Now, the well-known businessman also gave $25,000 to cover renovations that may be needed for repairs on the property. Sheer numbers and a lack of manpower. These are just a couple of issues facing area cities when it comes to collecting fines and tracking down people with active warrants. That has some area police departments thinking outside the box. And West Point, they're taking to social media, and they're already starting to see results. Our Jory Talley, she went to West Point to find out more.
More than 1,200 names and over $1 million in unpaid fines line these 52 pages. This is the West Point Police Department's warrant list, and it was recently posted on Facebook for the public to see.
Several calls saying people, y'all putting out my business out in the streets, and that's not our intent at all. Our intent is to collect these monies that owe to the city. We're not trying to embarrass nobody. That was not our main purpose. Our main purpose was collect fines.
And so far, it seems to be paying off.
Some people didn't know they had fines because people come up and press charges on you and you're unaware of it, and then they don't have a correct address on your phone number where we can contact you. So and we did have people call in and say, I didn't know I had a warrant. And they came up and gave them a court date and release.
Fines range from unpaid parking tickets to failure to appear in court, even simple assault.
It helped clear our warrant list, and we don't really have the manpower or the time to go out and serve all these warrants. So it was an effective way, we thought, to get people to come in.
Cook says if your name is on the list and you owe the city money, there are different ways to pay the fines off, from payment plans to actually working them off.
Our program is something that's always been available. There are certain limitations based on people's background and criminal history. However, it's something that's available, and we plan to use that if people are unable to pay.
Municipal Judge Mark Clyett and Chief Cook both say they hope to resolve everything without anybody having to go to jail.
Jail is the last resort. I've seen several people comment on social media that they say, oh, well, we shouldn't be arresting all these people. I gave a February 22nd court date as an effort for people to come to court without being arrested so we can resolve these things.
Now, people on the list must either pay their fines or appear in municipal court on the 22nd at 9 a.m. If the fines aren't paid or other arrangements have not been made by then, warrants previously issued will be served. Contact the municipal court weekdays from 8 to 5 or go by the police department. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with the first look at our forecast. And Keith, happy National Weather Person's Day, by the way.
Well, thank you very much, Scott. And on this big day, we are tracking some temperatures that are very mild, mid-60s around here, still 67 in Columbus. Now, speaking of Columbus, we do have some showers moving through the Golden Triangle area, going from southwest to northeast, but some downpours nonetheless across our region, and so a few more back to the southwest. Not everyone will see it, but they're out there. Mid-60s, as we mentioned, that's about it for tonight. Scattered showers will continue. Winds from the south, so a mild night, well above the average. Lows tonight, mid-60s. The average right now, mid-50s. So our highs tomorrow, low and mid-70s around here, assuming we do see some breaks. Well above the average. Now, there may be a little bit of rain around, but I think most of that's going to be shifting back to the north. We stay warm through Thursday, Scott, and then we'll cool things down a little bit. More in just a few minutes.
Well, here in Mississippi, it is a big deadline day at the state capitol. Bills had to be passed out of committee by tonight. Now, they are otherwise unlikely to get more lifelines. Both Senate and House passed heartbeat bills. Now, those bills would ban abortions if a fetal heartbeat is detected, but some members question the wisdom of such a bill, considering the constitutionality of the 15-week ban passed last year still has not been decided by the courts.
Why would we not just wait on the courts to rule with regard to the 15-week ban, ultimately, I guess, going to the Supreme Court?
I think the other states are sitting around and waiting to determine what our U.S. Supreme Court, under its current composition, is going to do. I think it's incumbent upon us to do what we believe is in the best interest of the children born and unborn in the state of Mississippi, and that's what I'm trying to present this bill to do.
A controversial bill that won't see more debate is the Administrative Civil Asset Forfeiture Bill. Now, it would have reinstated law enforcement's ability to seize property if connected to a drug crime. Despite a push from the governor and law enforcement, the chairman said the needed support was not there within the Republican caucus. That bill was opposed by such diverse groups as the ACLU and the Mississippi Tea Party. Well, more than a dozen bills to remove the Confederate battle flag from Mississippi's state flag died in committee today. Critics call the Confederate emblem racist, but supporters say it's a symbol of history. All 8 of Mississippi's public universities and several cities have stopped flying the flag. Mississippi House Rules Committee Chairman Jason White says there's no consensus to change the flag or give it extra protection.
Here's our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Columbus, Louisville, Mississippi, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy right there. Tupelo, we've had some rain. We still have some rain out there. Mild temperatures will continue for the near term. Details are next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some wet weather in Tupelo today. You can see it this evening. Our Alpha Insurance Camera Network doing a great job picking up on the rain. Some traffic moving along. Now, that was earlier today. Now we have some rain moving across other parts of the region. Scattered showers. The heaviest batch here in parts of Monroe County, lifting northeast of Columbus, eventually into West Alabama. But few and far between is the rain right now. Earlier, though, we did see this little stripe from the Delta all the way out towards Tupelo and Itawamba County. You can see anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch estimated by Doppler radar, and about 3/4 of an inch in Tupelo officially at the airport. Now, here's your Wednesday. We start out in the mid-60s. Well, how about that? Mid-60s at 7 o'clock in early February. Low to mid-70s during the course of the day, southerly breezes, and we're looking at a lot of cloud cover, a few breaks in there. And if we do see more in the way of breaks than what we've had recently the last 2 days, we should get back into the mid-70s. But our temperatures have actually been a little bit below projection yesterday and today because of the extensive cloud cover. But assuming we do see some breaks tomorrow, southerly breezes, mid-70s. Again, a 30% chance for some rain out there, and not everyone will see it, so just have a backup plan if you see some rain. Most spots will remain dry. 70s for the next 2 days. Rain chances, obviously, for the near term. Cooler Friday and Saturday, a little quick hit of some cooler air before we moderate things again for your Sunday and beyond. Here's the big picture. We are in the 60s now. We are just stuck in this warm air. There's a frontal boundary not too far away. It's only 34 right now in Oklahoma City, 20s and 30s to the north. Rain and ice north of this boundary, but for us, we have all rain, and we will be warm enough for all liquid here for the near term. You can see with Futurecast a little bit of break projection here for lucky for tomorrow. Most of the concentrated rain to our north on Wednesday, and even in the early Thursday too. Here's Thursday at 10. You can see rain and storms back to the west as frontal boundary will zip on through here. The overall situation here on Thursday doesn't really give us the great potential for severe weather, and that's certainly good news. Rain, yes, and a front and a wind shift, but at this point it doesn't look like any strong storms before this cooler air comes back on in here for your Friday and Saturday. Quite unusual to have mid-70s to upper 70s transitioning into 40s in February with a cold front that will not give us severe weather. We'll monitor it, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But a big temperature drop here. Shorts weather now, jacket weather here Friday, and for your Saturday, it looks like we'll get down below freezing. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. As we get back into Sunday and next week, the 50s and the 60s will return, along with those rain chances. Saturday's actually looking like a pretty nice day. Dry, partly cloudy, highs around 50, but in the near term, Scott, warm and rain chances here. And then next week, warmer again, but more rain possible.
Flu season may have been slow incoming this year, but it's here. We take a look at some hidden costs when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. The flu season is in full swing here in the Golden Triangle area. As it turns out, the flu has just as big of an impact on local businesses as it does families, but maybe not in the way you'd expect. Cash Matlock explains.
It has been wild, is how it's been. It started with a bang yesterday.
Jennifer Kugel is a local pharmacist and co-owner of BJ's Family Pharmacy in Starkville. She says she's witnessed the flu virus spike over the past few weeks.
Typically, what we've seen so far is we saw the end of last week, one person in the family would have it, and then Monday somebody else came back. It usually takes a couple days for everybody to get it.
She says the virus is so bad this year, it's having an effect on their business, but not in the way you might think.
We've actually had some of our own people here get sick, so it's a lot of extra work, which we're glad to be here to do it for people, but it's been a lot.
And a few blocks down the street, First Presbyterian Child Care is facing a similar issue.
It puts a strain on businesses like daycares. If your workers don't come, you may not have enough staff to open for the day. We've had at least one teacher every other week that is affected, either their child or they're sick, something to that manner.
And even when a child is sick, parents are still paying for daycare services.
They have to pay that to save their spot, so once their kid does get well, hey, I have a place for my child to go.
And as if work and school weren't enough of an issue, the cost of medication alone can also put a burden on a family's finances.
I have known parents that wind up spending up to like $400 just on Tamiflu to cover everybody.
Child care professionals say the solution to avoiding this ripple effect is really quite simple.
And if you don't keep your kid home, then you affect other children, and it is a trickle-down factor.
The CDC recommends flu shots for everyone 6 months of age and older. Local soccer teams 1 win away from a state championship appearance. Highlights from Meridian coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The Bulldogs fall out of the top 25 on the men's side, but a big week ahead to prove they need to get back. Mississippi State with 2 home games against top 25 teams this week. First off against LSU on Wednesday night. The key for the Bulldogs will be the consistent play from the freshmen. Robert Woodard and Reggie Perry have stepped up big time the past week. Perry coming off a career day, 21 points, 11 boards against Ole Miss. Head coach Ben Howland says the Columbus native Woodard is starting to put it together in Starkville.
And Robert, is really coming on. He was critical in that game on Saturday, and he's just getting better and better and really comfortable.
We talk about it all the time in the room. It's just we understand that there are high expectations coming out of both of us, so we understand that we just have to clear our minds and just play together and just be one when we're out there together.
Big day of basketball after National Signing Day. Bulldogs tip off against LSU at 8 p.m. Ole Miss also in action at home against Texas A&M. Tip off at 6. One more win to compete for a title. High school soccer season coming to a close. North Half Championships happening around the area. Down in Meridian at Meridian Community College, the 4A North Half State Soccer Final featuring Moorville and the West Lauderdale Black Knights. First half for West Lauderdale, Lucy Green to Carolyn Green, who does the rest. So Black Knights take a 3-0 lead. After a foul, West Lauderdale plays the ball in the box. Alice Williamson heads it, but saved by Anna Gray Stark. Later in the first half, though, Carolyn Green sizes up her shot, shoots, scores. Right past goalkeeper for the goal. West Lauderdale ends Moorville's season in a big way. The Black Knights win 10-0. Great season for Moorville. That West Lauderdale team has meant business so far in the playoffs. But now to the boys. New Albany also facing off against West Lauderdale in the 4A Boys North Half Final. Penalty in the box for Danny Avila, but saved by Josh DeWeese. That keeps the game scoreless in the first half. Then off a throw-in, the Black Knights' Daniel Galvin in position. But he'd be fouled inside the box, and that would set up a West Lauderdale PK, and Green converts. Lower 90 for the goal. West Lauderdale up 1-0. And that's about all they would need. Black Knights would go on to score one more. Great season from New Albany, comes up a game short of the title. West Lauderdale defeats the Bulldogs 2-0. Lafayette advancing to the 5A state championship. The Lady Doors defeating Lewisburg 1-0. It's the Doors' first title appearance in girls soccer since 2016. Also their first in 5A. They'll await the winner of Long Beach and West Jones, who plays tomorrow night. High school hoops division rivals. West Lown and Vardaman facing off. Michaela Williams steals the inbounds. She's going to go coast to coast for 2. Vardaman racing out in front here in the third quarter. More from Vardaman. Breaking the West Lown's pressure. Williams to Sarah Wooten. No one stops ball, so she's going to go right to the cup for the deuce. Lady Rams led by as much as 20, but West Lown makes a big run late. Takara Givens picks off the save. She wouldn't be denied in transition. Shrugs off the contact for the and one bucket. West Lowndes would get it down to a 7-point ball game, but the Lady Rams able to close it out. Vardaman gets the win 58-47. Senior night in West Lowndes, but let's run it back. Time for the boys. Rams versus Panthers. Panthers with the pressure early on. Najul Holloway with the steal, outlet to Kylan Malone, finishes with the left even with the contest. Panthers open the game on a 7-0 run, but the Rams able to answer with a bucket. Michael Williams kicks it out to Patrick Pratt. Look at the friendly roll for two. That's a nice mid-range J there. And West Lowndes would turn up the D to close the corner. Vardaman unable to finish in traffic. Look at the outlet from Quay Sanders. A laser beam to Trey Lucius, who finishes even with the contact. No call, but he'll take the bucket. Then right before the first quarter horn, Panthers tip the inbounds. Brooks to Lucius. Beautiful basketball. Lay in at the buzzer. West Lowndes dominates Vardaman to a 68-44 win. And also around the viewing area today, WCBI End Zone Offensive Player of the Year and Houston Hilltopper Jalen May holding his signing ceremony to join Northwest. You can hear more from Jalen on our website, WCBI.com. And we're just preparing for the party tomorrow, National Signing Day. Count on WCBI Sports for all the coverage from around the viewing area. That's it for sports. Last look at your weather is next.
A little bit of rain still out there tonight, Scott. Tomorrow, 70s, mid to upper 70s Thursday, the warmest day of this stretch. Some evening showers and storms there, and then some cooler weather Friday, Saturday, but a quick rebound again.
And it's February, 77 in February.
I know, crazy.
Craziness. All right, thanks, Kate. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.